So, hi there, this is Eileen Gilbo with The Real Las Vegas, and I am here today with Nichol McIntosh.
Hello.
From Nourish Your Roots LV, and we're going to talk how you came to Vegas.
Well, I came to Vegas in 1994. I was a military brat.
Ooh.
So my dad was stationed here. I was about 9 years. It was right before my 10th birthday. I remember moving to Vegas and was excited to be a double digit. Turning 10 was a really big deal. I remember that very clear as day. So yeah, we came here in 1994. My dad was stationed here. We lived. I don't think we lived in military housing when we first got here. My parents bought their very first house that they ever owned here. And it was supposed to be temporary. My parents swore that they were not going to retire here.
Right.
But now here we are, 25 years later, and I'm probably never going to move. I'm here for the rest of my life.
A lot of people, I don't know if that's something that people know about Las Vegas, but a lot of people move here temporarily and end up spending the rest of their lives here.
Yes.
So you're amongst friends. So you already covered what brought you here. So can you tell us a little bit about your business, Nourish Your Roots LV?
Yeah, absolutely. Nourish Your Roots LV, it's nutrition and yoga based. Primarily right now I'm focusing on the nutrition aspect. It started, I've always been really interested and passionate about helping people on their health and wellness journey. I was a registered nurse for not very long, probably in 2011 is when I started working as a nurse up through 2017, I believe. And so I always had that passion, but being in the nursing field, I started to realize that I wanted to help people more from a preventative standpoint. I started to really understand through my own experience just how important nutrition and lifestyle was, and that if we could really learn to blend the medical world with the holistic aspect, that would be some of our major answers towards true health and wellness. And so it really began kind of with a weight loss situation. I was a little bit overweight, about 50 pounds overweight when I was a teenager, and tried every diet under the sun. I mean, even as far as diet pills, starving myself, extreme exercising, and eventually, through extreme yo-yoing, I got down to pretty close to a goal weight, but I didn't feel good. I was extremely irritable. My entire life was controlled by the clock because I'm like, oh, okay, I have 15 more minutes before I can eat my next snack.
Right.
And I wasn't sleeping good, I had really bad skin, and I started to connect the dots that maybe there's more to this health thing than weight loss. That weight loss isn't always synonymous with what true health really is. And so I started diving in a little bit more. I decided to pursue it and go to school. And so I got my certification as a holistic health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and just fell in love with a whole new world of nutrition and health. I then did a yoga teacher training and kind of incorporated all of that. And as I began to work as a health coach, I was doing more general population. Pretty much anybody that was interested for whatever reason, I would take, and it was definitely a great experience. I learned a lot. But then as my own personal journey evolved, my husband and I started having difficulty with fertility. And I started diving into the holistic aspect, the nutrition aspect of that, and my passion has then just grown so much from my own journey through fertility. And what I realized was, like anybody, you say, okay, it's time to start trying. You just pull the goalie, and and you think it's just simple. You just do what you need to do, and
nature takes
over, and here's a baby. And then you realize a year later, maybe 2 years, however long you try, and it doesn't happen. You don't really know, you don't really have an idea where to turn to next except for to go to a doctor.
Right.
And I know in my personal experience, I can't speak for everybody else, but it seemed like it was just automatic for treatment. IVF was the only answer. We were referred to a specialist. He spent maybe 5 minutes with us in the room. At the time said one of my husband's numbers was a little off, and that because of that no matter what we do, it would be impossible. He used the word impossible to get pregnant on your own without IVF. And so that kind of left us with a red flag, and we decided to just take a step back, take a little bit of a break from trying, and really get our health and fitness on track. And they say that every 3 months the health of your woman's eggs or a man's sperm changes, with nutrition and lifestyle.
And I don't think,
and I don't think Western medicine, they don't take that into consideration, which is why the doctor told us, nope, this number, nothing you can do, IVF is the answer.
Right, well, and I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's, and it's really sad.
That's interesting.
Absolutely, and I think it's, unless you're an advocate for yourself, which sometimes you don't even know what to advocate for.
That's very true.
You know, that you won't know, you just listen to what the doctor says and you say, okay. And so for us, it was just a red flag, and we made some changes. We took about a year off, got our nutrition on track, and then we were both retested when we started trying again, and we were still not having success. And my husband's numbers are perfect. They actually consider it's like the best of the best, which that to me is very telling, because you know, we made these changes in nutrition and diet, or nutrition and lifestyle, and we're seeing the results with that. And then for me, we've discovered that I have a low ovarian reserve, which the first couple of years we were diagnosed with unexplained infertility. And then we, through some additional consults and other doctors looking at things, I saw an acupuncturist, I was notified that, no, actually your ovarian reserve is pretty low. And again, Western medicine says that there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah.
You can slow down your rate of decline. So your ovarian reserve is essentially your quality of your eggs. And so it's an aging number that speeds up with aging. However, you could potentially slow it down, but you can't necessarily go the opposite direction.
So there's no reversal.
So that, yeah, that's what I was under the impression. There was no reversal. There was nothing you can do. Well, then after meeting with an acupuncturist and doing my own research, I was finding that there was a lot of nutrition, lifestyle, and then working with an acupuncturist that could make a difference. And so at one point, my number was 0.83. 7 months later, it had dropped down to 0.29. And then after I started making all of these changes, I just recently had it checked, and it's back up to 0.9, which is the highest it's been in over a year.
Wow.
Which I think is, again, it's so telling that nutrition and your lifestyle can have such a huge impact on your general health from a reproductive standpoint. And so just through my own journey, I've really done a lot of research, trying to figure things out, understanding that every person is completely unique, that if somebody wants to just try the complete natural route and they want to make all of these changes, or if they want to make these changes while moving forward with medical treatment, you know, whatever their decision is, I want to be that person that can be there to support them through whichever path they choose to take, answer any questions that they have, just be that in-between person. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of in-between. It's either you try to get pregnant on your own, you can't, you go to a doctor and you're told to do treatment.
Right.
But what about all the stuff in between?
Yeah.
You know, nobody really asks details about what are you really eating, what type of stress are you really under, what's the activity level that you're doing. And so I think that my ultimate goal is just to be a voice for women, to know that there is an in-between, that there's somebody out there to support you, and that we can look at you as a unique individual, not globally, but you as an individual, and see what it is that you need to support your body on your journey, whichever direction that is.
Yeah, and even if people aren't struggling with fertility, that lifestyle and nutrition component actually is necessary for a healthy pregnancy too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a really great point that you brought up, because they say that it can take your body potentially 2 years to get all of the nutrients it needs to support a healthy pregnancy.
Wow.
And so, which is really
That's a long
crazy.
time.
It's a really long time.
Right.
You know, we're very much a society of like, we want something to happen right then and there. So when you say, okay, I'm ready to start trying on my 30th birthday, swipe the goalie over to the side, and then here we go.
Right.
You know, we expect immediate results.
Right.
But that's not always the answer.
No.
And we've kind of lost patience.
Right.
You know, with it. And so, yeah, I think that even if there's women out there that aren't struggling, but they know, I'm not ready quite yet, but maybe in a couple of years, what can I do now to potentially prevent maybe some hardship in the future? So that if it is easy for you to get pregnant, or even if it's not, that you've prepared your body to be able to support a healthy pregnancy throughout the full term. Because then that's the other side of it, is getting pregnant, but then being able to maintain that pregnancy.
Right.
You know, it's very sad how common it is.
Yeah.
So many women out there struggling. So just to be that voice and open up the dialogue so that women, it's such an isolating experience, but that you can connect and resonate with somebody else going through their own experience.
Well, and there doesn't have to be shame associated with it, that, you know, as a woman, you're not able to do what, you know, a woman's body should do.
Absolutely.
Because it's not the same for everyone.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not. I mean, there's so many different, down to micronutrients, down to the structure of your reproductive system. You know, your partner's health is a huge, huge component, and sometimes is left forgotten because you're so focused on the woman, but it could be just a few little changes here and there. And then, and just creating that feeling where you feel like you're in control to an extent, because I feel like it gets to a certain point where you feel like you don't have any control over your own body, you don't understand why your body's failing you, you know, you're really upset, but at least making these changes, you know that you are in control of your body to a certain extent, and that there are things that you can do to support it. Yeah,
well, I think it's awesome that you've taken something that is so personal to you and have allowed yourself to be open enough to share it so that other people cannot feel so isolated and alone.
Yes, and I think it's important. It's definitely hard. I've had that back and forth where I go through phases of being completely open about everything and just putting it out there on social media, knowing that I'm opening up myself to all the opinions that are out there.
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of opinions. But unfortunately, there's kind of that dark side, or people just say things that you just don't fully understand why they think it's okay to say certain things. And then because you're experiencing emotions that you maybe didn't expect because now you're trying a new medication, or you're trying a new method of treatment, new emotions arise, and then suddenly you feel, okay, now I don't want to talk about it, because if I do talk about it, I'll cry, or I don't want anybody to see me upset. And so I've had that really back and forth, but I think that's normal. And I think it's good to also let people know that, or women know that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay, you know, to have those low moments, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's, you know, unfortunately it's a part of the process, but to allow ourselves to feel is going to help us down the road rather than trying to keep everything in or hidden from everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you want to get in touch with Nichol, we are going to put all of her contact information at the bottom of this video so that you can contact her, you can have a conversation. I have personally worked with her, and she is awesome. So I have a couple more questions for you. So not related to this. If you are going to eat at a local restaurant, what is your favorite?
My favorite right now, and anybody who's really close to me would probably be able to tell you this, is North Italia.
Oh.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Okay, that's my favorite restaurant right now.
What do you get?
They have one, I'm gluten-free.
Okay.
And so I love that they have a lot of gluten-free options. They have gluten-free pasta, they have gluten-free pizza crust, so that if you're craving kind of those naughty meals that you can still eat within, you know, a healthy version of it, so to speak. They have all of their ingredients are just really fresh. So I'll get their salads, I'll get their pizzas, I've had some of their pastas. They have this amazing, it's vegetables, I think it's asparagus, cauliflower, maybe a couple other vegetables with a fried egg on top. I love it. And they have pretty good alcoholic beverages as well.
Well, that's my next question. So I don't know if you drink coffee, but if you do, what's either your favorite coffee place or place to get a cocktail?
I would have to say place to get a cocktail is North Italia. I'm kind of boring right now.
So you're very biased to North Italia.
Very biased right now. And I have been known to go there twice in 1 week. It has happened, probably more than once. But coffee place, I'm actually not a huge coffee drinker. However, Makers and Finders, which is a little, it's a breakfast, brunch, lunch place, Latin, I think it's technically considered to be Latin.
I think so.
And they have you tried their lavender latte?
No, I have not, but one of my daughters has, and they love it.
It sounds strange, like a lavender latte. I am big into essential oils, so in my mind I'm thinking coffee with lavender essential oil in it. I don't know what they do. They make their syrup in-house, but it is to die for. So if I am really craving a good latte or a good coffee, I will go there and order a lavender latte.
Okay, well, and just so you know, there's a location at downtown Summerlin, and there's a location on Main Street.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, their actual original location is on Main Street.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they are awesome. So we will see you next time, and